Hi guys, welcome back to my channel Python in Office. Today we're going to talk about something not Excel related, but it's something that saved me tons of time every day. I like reading books, news, and online articles, but I don't have the time to read every single piece of article that I'm interested in. So I kind of figured out a way to save a lot of time reading those articles. And the way to do it is I convert text articles into audio format so that I can listen to those articles while doing other things. For example, when I'm walking outside or when I'm doing housework. Let me just show you this short clip to get a sense on how it may sound like when you convert a text article into audio format.
By Paul Graham. December 2020. As I was deciding what to write about next, I was surprised to find that two separate essays I'd been planning to write were actually the same. The first is about how to ace your Y Combinator interview. There has been so much nonsense written about this topic that I've been meaning for years to write. Something telling founders the truth. The second is about something politicians sometimes say.
Okay, I think you get the idea, so let's just stop there and get to work on the coding. The library that we're going to use today is called GTTS, or Google Text-to-Speech. It's a library that allows for interaction with Google Translate's text-to-speech API. So we're going to bring up the command prompt and do a pip install. I've already installed it, so it might take a few seconds to install on your side if you don't have this already. Next, I'm going to find an article that I want to listen to, and I'm going to copy everything for that article and paste it into a text file. I also want to know the author of this article, so I manually add in the author at the beginning of the text file and save the file. Now let's try to load the text into Python. So the way to do that is we can use the context manager here with open and simply feed in the file path. And the mode is read as file. And then I'm going to say the source equal to f dot read lines. So basically, it's going to read all the lines from that text file, from the first line to the very bottom line. So we can see this as a list. And also, we will see that there are 115 rows. Just to give you a sense on what this might look like. So this is the first 10 items in this list. So basically, kind of like the first 10 lines, but here I've added this first line, I've added the author name. This all looks good, but we have to get rid of two things in order to improve our listening experience. If you scroll down the web page, you will see that there are some footnotes, like bracket 1, 2, 3, 4. And if you go all the way down to the bottom of this page, you will see that there are a whole section of notes, and we also don't want this to be in our audio book. So the way to get rid of that is we have to figure out where this is, because now our data is stored in a list. Right now, all we know is this section is at the bottom of this list, but we don't know where. We can just do some trials and errors, and I've already done that. Um, and I can show you that this notes is here. So by the way, -20, this just means show me the last 20 items from this list. Okay, so now I'm going to copy this, and since we're dealing with the list, we can use the list function index, and we'll be able to see the index number for this item, for the notes, which is 102, 102nd element. And now what we can do is we'll remove everything after the 102nd item from this list. So we're gonna reassign this back to this uh, source variable name and then just do this. So this stands for from zero, from the very first item to the 102. And usually if you start from the beginning, you can omit that zero in front, right? So we've done removing the notes, and just to confirm, we'll do another 20. So that note section, that whole section now is gone. So this part now, that's how they became billionaires. That's the last sentence of the main body, text body. All right, so that's done. And the other thing that we need to get rid of is these footnotes. So because they have the same pattern. So like open bracket, a number, and a closing bracket. We can find or we can match these patterns by using um, a built-in Python variable called regular expression. So in order to use that, we have to import it. So just import RE, regular expression. Let me show you an example. So let's say I'm just gonna copy this here. Maybe just copy this last sentence. And let's say our string is this with that for brackets. And we can do re.find, find all, I guess. And the pattern here we're going to use is this. And I'm going to go into what it means just in a second. And the string is here. All right. And then once we do this, okay, I think I should be using these slashes. Right. Okay. So it's able to find a pattern that's matching to this. And what this really means is something look like this. Open bracket, a number, and then closing bracket. So this \d means just any digits from 0 to 9. And this backslash bracket and this backslash bracket correspond to these brackets here. All right, so we can also use a substitute function from the regular expression module. And what it does is it will replace a pattern with something else. So for example, if we do re.substitutes, I think it's just sub. And the pattern we're going to have is same thing here. And we're going to replace it with blank because basically we want to get rid of that, right? So string. And if you do this, you will see that the bracket for bracket got removed. Okay, so now we know how to remove this. And let's go ahead and remove all the footnote numbers from the main body text. An empty list. I'll call that clean source. And we're going to loop through the text. Oops. And for each of that, we will, actually we can do this, I think. So clean source append, and we will substitute this with a blank. We'll loop that through for each I. I think that should do it. Okay, so I think it's because it's complaining about the backslash. And the way we can do that is just add an R in front. That stands for raw string. Okay, so I found where the first footnote is. It's the 26th element. And if we check it here, you see that the bracket 1 at the end. And if we check the same position on a cleaned up string, then we should see the the bracket and one got removed from here. Okay, so now we have our cleaned up string, and we're gonna want to convert this list into just one single string. The way to do that is I'm gonna do it like this. Text equal to this is basically an empty string. Join clean source. It's gonna take all those strings in that list and then join them into one super large string. Now, if you check the type, it's a string, and you have 18,000 something characters in there. Okay, so now we have our text, and let's go ahead and convert that into an audio file. So import GTTS. Okay, now up to this point, this is what we've done in the code. And for some reason, when I copy these text into the text file and then load it into Python, this character showed up instead of what's supposed to be a dash. So that's why I'm just replacing this with the dash. So next, we're gonna take the GTTS and feed it with the raw text, and we can specify that the language is English. And this argument here, this is where we can specify, for example, like for English, you might have like different accent. And here the CA, they stand for Canadian accent. And then we can save this into an MP3 file. Okay, so let's run this and check the results. I think I'm in this already, and just gonna do text to podcast.py and run it. It's gonna take a few seconds because it's actually talking to the Google Translator API. It's sending the text file over to Google, and Google will do the translation, then sending the completed MP3 file back to us. So I'm guessing that most of the time, most of the wait time here is spent on transferring that MP3 file from Google back to us. And it also depends on how long your text is. If you have just one sentence, maybe it'll be done pretty quickly. But if you have a whole article, it's going to take a little bit longer. And if you are converting maybe like a whole book, it's going to be even longer. So just keep that in mind. It's not freezing, it's not crashing or anything. It's just taking its time to do the work. Okay, it just finished, and we see our file, our MP3 file here. Let's check it out.
By Paul Graham. December 2020. As I was deciding what to write about next, I was surprised to find that two separate essays I'd been planning to write were actually the same. The first is about how to ace your Y Combinator interview. There has been so much nonsense written about this topic that I've been meaning for years to write something telling founders the truth.
All right, let's stop here. So it sounds pretty natural for computer-generated voice. All right, so I just want to show you guys that if you type GTTS dash CLI space 2 dash and all, it's gonna show you all the supported languages that you can convert using the Google API. I haven't actually tried other languages. I've only tried English so far. If you guys are interested, and if any of you speak another language than English, then feel free to try uh, to convert your own audiobooks in other different languages. I think this GTTS supports up to 70 different languages. Also here I found this is the GTTS official documentation, and in here you will see that how to specify different accent for given language. For example, just for English, you have Australia, UK, US, Canada, India, Ireland, South Africa. So feel free to give all those different accents a try and let me know which one sounds most natural to you. All right, guys, that's it for today. Thank you for watching. If this video helped you in any ways, please give me a like and subscribe to my channel. I'll see you in the next one.